And you quit because you didn't want the discipline anymore, to have to show up every
No, it was an ego thing. It was like they'd hired another writer, you know, a real writer with a track record who had, you know, had a career, and I found out they were paying him more than me. And I said, oh, how dare they? Don't they know who I am, you know? Called my agent, asked them to release me from my contract, and, well, they did release me from my contract? Okay.
Okay.
You know, and it took me, you know, 3 years to really run through everything, all the residuals, because the residuals kept coming in for a while. And then it took me another 5 years after I got sober to restart my career, because I'd really burned a lot of bridges. And I never really thought it would happen. You know, I really had resigned myself to, okay, I'm going to work whatever jobs I can get and, you know, just try and support myself. That's really all that was my big ambition when I got sober. But it turns, you know, as life does, it turns in mysterious ways. And I was actually working one of the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, which involved making amends. I wrote amends to a producer who I had basically harmed with a very late script back when I was, you know, and I got a call from him. He was just started working on the syndicated version of Charles in Charge, and he invited me to come in and pitch stories. So I did, and at the end of that meeting, he took me aside and he told me he was 23 years sober in Alcoholics Anonymous. And he gave me an assignment, and that turned into a bunch more assignments, and, you know, it turned into I had a career again. And this time, you know, I was willing to accept it. I was willing to accept the success. I didn't have that drive to self-destruct and throw it away. And so I guess the best thing that ever happened to me, you know, was crashing and burning early on when I was young. Because I've seen a lot of people, you know, who don't, and they crash and burn when there's no time to recover. They're too old. Yeah,
I'd love to have 2 interviews with you because this is too short. You have so much to say and to share. But we have to wrap this up in a couple of minutes, and I want to get a couple of questions in.
Well, is there a commercial break coming or something?
No, but we've run out of tape. This is all we've got. However, who is Lee Aronsohn? Because there's the Lee Aronsohn I know, the Lee Aronsohn your co-workers know, and yeah, of course. And then there is the true Lee Aronsohn. How would you describe you?
You know what? That's a really tough one for me. I don't see myself really well. You know, and your imposter paradigm, I think, applies a lot to me. I've got a lot of different personalities, some of which are authentic, some of which are, you know, imposters and defense mechanisms and all that. I see myself as less talented than other people, you know, sometimes assume or ascribe to me. I consider myself a decent craftsman. I'm pretty good at what I do, but I don't think what I do is that great.
So you co-created 2.5 Men, and you were executive producer of Big Bang Theory, and you worked on Roseanne, and Sybil, and Murphy Brown.
I didn't work on Roseanne. Sybil, Murphy Brown, Love Boat, Charles in Charge, Who's the Boss, Grace Under Fire. Yeah, I've worked on a lot of shows because I am good at what I do, but what I do is very dependent on what other people do. I'm really good at optimizing what other people do. I can take a script. I can't guarantee to make it good. I can guarantee it to make it better. Okay, you've proven that with me working together on Belly Dance. Yeah. So one last question. What do you want your legacy to be? My kids. I want my kids to not have the demons that I have. I want my kids to be comfortable in their skin. I don't want my kids to be as driven by fear and shame as I have been in my life. If I can leave that behind, that's far more important than my name on a bunch of television shows. Oh, that's beautiful. I would love to do a whole interview with you about shame and guilt. All right. By the way, I think you have so much to say on that subject, if you're willing to do it. Yeah. Midnight on Thursday or something. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Lee.